I am Chris Cipolla. I'm the founder and one of 3 managing partners of 910 Incorporated, a full-service marketing agency locally owned and operated here in Grand Prairie, Alberta. We offer pretty much everything under the sun. We do responsive web, print, graphic design, mobile apps. The list goes on and on. You can check out our website if you like. It is mobile-friendly, responsive, so you can see what one of those looks like. They're very cool. But enough about me. Let's talk about you. Today I'm going to talk about social commerce, and you're probably thinking, oh, another term for me to remember, hooray. But it's really a simple thing to consider. E-commerce, first of all, is of course a place for you to sell your products and or services online. So you have a beautiful e-commerce website, and there's a few considerations I'm just going to go over really quickly. First of all, you want to make sure that people have an easy time using your website to actually purchasing your product. There's a lot of strategy and a lot of thought that goes behind that, a lot of psychology, and it's quite interesting. I won't get into it, but I'm happy to have a conversation about that if you like. Another interesting thing about e-commerce is considering your account management. So instead of actually having a person who is face-to-face with your customer, your website actually has to remember all that information. So remembering past orders, remembering what they're currently ordering, remembering wish lists, remembering payment information. All of these things are ways to help your customer purchase things from you online, which is of course a very good thing. Your e-commerce website is an addition or is created instead of a physical location. And that's really interesting because there's some things that people don't necessarily consider when they come to us and they want us to build an e-commerce website. One of those things is inventory management. So what happens if I'm at Soul Addiction and I'm buying the most beautiful pair of shoes in the world, and suddenly, same thing online, Ryan's buying some shoes. I don't know why he's buying the same shoes, but we're not the same size. But what happens when you go to fulfill that customer's order and those shoes aren't on the shelf anymore? That's a huge consideration. Shipping, return policies, both these things need to be set up especially for your web store. Online merchandising is a really interesting one too. So if we're thinking about a pretty dress in the window, that's pretty easy. You have your store, you already understand how that works. So you're gonna put on your pretty dress, and you're gonna put on the pretty hat, and maybe like an LED purse or something. That's what I would do. That's why I'm not in merchandising. But you still want to online merchandise as well. So you really want to make your product presentable, and you want to make people want to buy it. So very important. So great photography, good setup, creative execution, all that good stuff. Okay, so this is Ryan's favorite phrase. It's SOLOMO, so social, local, and mobile. And really what this adds up to is the idea that your customers, they're coming to you, they're buying from you, maybe they're in your physical location, and they're still going to be social. And they probably have their phones in their pockets. We are now getting to a point where we are social wherever we're going. So websites like Yelp, like Foursquare, Facebook check-in, all that stuff, there's some really interesting strategies that you can implement into your physical store and your online store that actually help your customer create an even stronger emotional bond with your brand. So some really cool stuff there. You don't have to stay on your website. With responsive websites, which is of course something that we can develop for you, you can actually drop your store right on your Facebook page, which is really interesting because it kind of makes you look cool. Let's not lie. If I want to go and buy some cupcakes and I want to do it on the Facebook page, there's a good chance I'd be able to do that. So it's very neat. Allow your customers, if you are choosing to go this route, to rate your products. I'll give you an example. I was buying a vacuum the other day. My vacuum broke, long story short. And I wanted a little stick vac. So I'm trying out the stick vacs and running drugs, and I'm really happy actually. It's about 10 to 10, so I'm kind of getting the looks. I get out of my store. But what I did is I pulled out my phone and I started looking up reviews on what was available. because I'll be honest, there's a really sweet deal on this one, it's like half price. And I was praying it had good reviews, and it did, but that didn't stop me from going out and checking everything else while I was there. Being able to allow your customers to rate your products means you can respond to them on your website if you have favorable or non-favorable reviews on things that people have talked about. They're going to talk about it anyway, you might as well let it be in a place where you can control it. Everyone knows Amazon.com? Yeah. Something that's really interesting, and they're a great example of this, is they will provide recommendations for other products. So you're on Amazon, you're looking at books or whatever, and Amazon knows that you want to buy that third cat calendar. So they are putting that calendar in your face, and guess what? You might just buy it because it's there. So product recommendation, very cool. That is built out of some serious algorithms that is very scientific. I don't even know that much about it. I would let my developer boys take care of that for me. Your friends recommending products. There's a really, really cool website called thinkgeek.com. You can buy all sorts of really neat things on there. Like unicorn meat. I don't know if anyone's seen that. I actually use that in my presentations a lot because it's really, really funny. But what happens is they actually allow commenting on all of their products as well. So it's kind of going past the area of just doing a recommendation or a rating. It's people having a discussion about what you have to offer. Really, really powerful. Not only that, but when they're talking about it on your website, it's going to be there for people to see. People are going to see that. This person's friends are going to see it in their newsfeed. So it's more social. You're really you're able to share that message a lot further. What you can do too is allow people to unlock things. So for example, I'm sure everyone's familiar with this, you're going to go to a contest on Facebook. It's built properly in an app, and you have a fan gate. So what you're doing is saying, hey, all you have to do is like me, and I'm going to let you enter my contest. You are giving something back for something that they are giving you. That's one really, really simple example. Other things are maybe you get a coupon or a special deal. All sorts of strategy can go in behind that. I love this line. You should totally buy that item. Can you just see her saying that? Oh, maybe that's just me. So what we're doing in this slide is we're comparing advertising. So just your normal banner advertising. I like being in the light. Compared to somebody who you know. And maybe it's a Facebook friend, maybe it's the neighbor down the street, whoever it might be. Who are you going to trust more here? Are you going to trust random ad? Or are you going to trust somebody that you know? And that information can get to you either face-to-face or through a social feed, much like Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. So by allowing your customers to share your product and their love for your product, and sometimes their dislike for your product, that is going to happen. But as I mentioned before, you want to be able to control that. You want to be able to respond and have a conversation with them. Really, really important, because I can tell you they're talking about it somewhere. Might as well be in your very, very own backyard. The more people you have talking about your stuff, the better chance there is of more people buying. I know, as Ryan has talked about a little bit, you're probably like, oh, it's the last slide. I know it is, because it's that heart thing. Always, always love what you do. Always be authentic. Always be genuine. Really believe in what you have to offer, and people will follow. Add these strategies onto what you're already doing, and it's only going to get better. Thank you.